All right. Breaking news here at America F1, and I'm pretty sure everybody has heard it by now. But you go to bed, you wake up, and Christian Horner is no longer with Red Bull Racing as the team principal. He's being replaced by Lauren Meeks, who was head of our Racing Bulls or Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. Now, Horner's gone, Newey's gone, Wheatley's gone, Marshall's gone. Joining Horner is Oliver Hughes, who was the chief marketing officer. He's out. Also, Paul Smith, who was the group director of communications. He's out. Taking Laurette Meek's spot will be Alan Permain. He'll be the RB principal. Now, if Super Max leaves, this will be one of the historic downfalls of a championship team in any sport, let alone Formula One. Now, we're hearing, and this hasn't been confirmed and hasn't been released, but it was a him or me type of thing. If Horner leaves, then Max will sign a multi-year contract. If Horner stays, then Max goes to Mercedes. So the grapevine says that Max has signed a multi-year contract, hasn't been released yet, and he's going to stay with Red Bull because basically his team, him, Josh, Helmut Marko, they've got what they wanted, and they wanted Christian out. Now, Christian did not want to give up being CEO, team principal, head of this, head of that, having everyone report to him. Now, what other team really has that when you think about it? They're the CEO, they're the team principal, everybody reports to him. You can't think of another team that has that. And that was the sticking point. If Horner would have released some of the power, and if I were him, and I'm not, but if I were him, I would have been like Zach Brown. I'll be the CEO. Let's bring Laurent Meeks up and let him be team principal, and I'll smooth and I'll work the room and I'll keep the sponsors happy. And then as a CEO, you get to look over all the other sports that Red Bull's invested in. And it would give him a different perspective and a break, really, from the day-to-day operations. Because, he's been there a long time. And from all reports, he's a bit of a grinder. And, they're early, they're late, Now, Red Bull, as you know, can never keep any secrets. I mean, they just can't. They just can't. So here is Christian Horner's goodbye speech from today at Red Bull Racing. Let's take a listen.
By Red Bull, that operationally I will no longer be involved with the business or the team moving forward from after this gathering. I will still remain employed by the company, but operationally the baton will be handed over. And that obviously came as a shock, obviously to myself, but obviously what I've had a chance to do is to reflect over the last 12 hours or so, and I wanted to stand in front of all of you to break this news and just express my gratitude to each and every single member of the team that has given so much during the last 20 and a half years that I've been here. When I arrived 20 years ago, with a few less grey hairs, I walked into a team I didn't know what to expect, but I was immediately welcomed. And out of two run-down buildings, we started to build what became a powerhouse in Formula One. Watching and being part of this team has been the biggest privilege in my life. Seeing the team
So when you hear that, he's still in shock. He actually didn't see this coming. Have you ever heard Christian Horner with so many ums and ahs? He's pretty well-spoken gentleman. 405 races, 124 race wins, 8 drivers' titles, 6 constructors' titles. It would be, despite all of Christian Horner's flaws, and he's a flawed man, and many great people are, he took a soft drink company to one of the most dominant teams in Formula One history. And definitely one of the most dominant teams of the last 20 years. It's a soft drink company, ladies and gentlemen. It's not Ferrari. It's not Mercedes. It's not Aston Martin. It doesn't have this, it's not Williams. It doesn't have this pedigree of Formula One history. It's a company that you get the drink and you put it in your vodka or your gin. Or you get it for a boost when you're working late or you're doing something. That's what it is. And my phone's blowing up about this. But he took, and he led Sebastian Vettel era. Dominant. Max Verstappen area. Dominant. And the 23 Red Bull car, the most dominant car in Formula One history. Now, why did this happen? Well, Josh Verstappen does not like Christian Horner at all. Where does that come from? Now, if you remember last year, when Christian Horner had the allegations of sexual misconduct, supposedly, and it's been said, I don't know if it's true, this is what's had been said. That young lady was dating Josh Verstappen. That young lady also, not only was she Christian Horner's assistant, but Adrian Newey also used her as his assistant. That's why Adrian left, because he could no longer work with Christian Horner. Jonathan Wheatley left because, well, he got the opportunity to be in charge of his team. Ever since then, the Austrian wing of Red Bull has wanted to get rid of Christian Horner. And for a time, it looked like he won, didn't it? It looked like he was the winner. You didn't hear that much from Joshua Steppen. Helmut Marko you heard from, but not as much. They waited their time. And after Dietrich died, that kind of took away more of the backing from the tie side from Christian Horner. Then with all the bad second drivers, and the drivers aren't bad, it's the car. We all know it's the car. But Helmut Marko could point out, well, he's the one who gave Checo the extra contract. He's the one who put Liam Lawson in the car. He's the one who brought Yuki Tsunoda into the car. He's the one that didn't sign Carlos Sainz last year. Then in Silverstone, with Max on pole and Nico Hulkenberg in a Sauber finishing on the podium, now they can go and say, see, we just got beat by a Sauber. This car has been developed, and Christian doesn't want to give up any power over anything. So then he should lay the brunt for the responsibility. Either he goes or we're leaving and we're going to Mercedes. Now, Max came out with a statement, and my take on that is, Max, you should be quiet and not say anything. But when you think about it, he had to say something, right? Because really all Max loves to do is drive. His dad is the one who handles the politics. And they kind of got a good relationship that way. Max just does the driving, and that's all he has to think about. Josh takes care of the contract and making sure Max is taken care of, make sure he's the number one, make sure he doesn't have any competition on the team, because Max is one of the few, Schumacher, there's not too many of them, that basically have had the second driver is the second driver, and they really are no competition. The team is built around Max, the car is built around Max, and we could care less about the other person. Max says, from my first win to 4 world championships, only 3, but whatever, we have shared incredible success, winning memorable races and breaking countless records. Thank you for everything, Christian. I mean, you stab him on the back, but you show face and you say bon voyage, probably with a smirk on your face. Now Max has everything he wants. Now Red Bull they're not going to deliver now, obviously, into, the next race. But we have 3 weeks off. And what does the future hold for one Christian Horner? Will he be moving teams? Now they say that he still has a contract, even though he's been fired, which is strange, until 2027. And he's still getting paid with the team. And they're trying to figure out what his capacity will be with the team. It's a yet undetermined spot. But he's still going to get his money. But we got Cadillac out there. We know that Ferrari had sniffed around Christian before. And other than Mercedes and McLaren, Christian would, I guess, be a hot property, right? Because when you say the last 20 years, he's probably been the best team principal. And I would say that even though I think Christian has a lot of flaws, and I think especially when him and Lewis were going at it, or Max and Lewis were going at it, there were some borderline racial innuendos. Some people would say it was totally racist. I'm going to be nice and say there was a lot of innuendos and a lot of things that didn't need to be said. And that probably rubbed Lewis, I'm sure, rubbed Lewis the wrong way. And I definitely think it rubbed Anthony Hamilton the wrong way. And it rubbed a lot of fans, especially African American fans, the wrong way, or black fans the wrong way. And it rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way, actually. So some people are saying he could go to Ferrari. I don't see that. I don't think Lewis would stand for that. I just can't see that happening. But if you're any other team, how could you just not want Christian Horner there? And does Christian Horner still have that fire to go to another team and be the team principal? And how much power would he want? So he's not going to go to Mercedes. He's not going to go to McLaren. Oh, he's definitely not going to go to Aston Martin, because if he did, Newey would probably leave. Can't go to Williams because he's not going to go to Williams because Williams has a good principal. Probably can't go to Sauber because Sauber has Wheatley being head of the Audi project. So what do you have left? Komatsu's doing a great job at Haas, so can't probably go there. So what do we have? We have Alpine, right? Because Flavio just wants to win, and they just announced a new team principal just recently, but he could be gone. If Lewis could get over it, whatever him and Christian, he could go because they haven't re-signed. They haven't really given that kiss and sign of approval to, and I'm unbelievable. I can't believe I'm a total loss for words. Yeah, right. Me at a loss for words. And it's kind of funny. Who else? Where else can he not go to? Oh, that another thing that I just thought of when Christian Horner was kind of basically giving Total Wolff the, remember on DTS, if you got a problem, change your effing car. Change your effing car. Well, that kind of came back to bite him in the ass, didn't it? Because it's basically one of the reasons why he's getting the axe is because of the car. Because of the car is so crappy. And if you didn't have Max in that seat, then you could almost say that they'd probably be in last place. Or definitely close to it. Right? Now, Fred Vasseur hasn't, this is the last year of his contract, if you didn't know, and they have not given him a multi-year deal, and he hasn't been re-signed. And they were sniffing at Christian earlier in the season. He could go there. He could. Because if you're going to replace Fred, which I hope they don't, but if they do, Christian's definitely better than whoever they could get. I mean, there's no doubt about that. No matter what you think about Christian Horner, whether you hate him or love him, he's a good team principal. But no one stays on top forever. Where does this leave Red Bull? You thought the silly season was crazy last year. But this is the bombshell so far of the 2025 season. And on that note, keep on racing, everybody.